It's time to look at the forecast for Bazi Chinese Astrology for November 2024 and the Flying Stars Feng Shui so that we can best work with the energies coming in November as we start to wrap up the year 2024. So welcome, this is Lydia with the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. On this channel, I often like to read the charts of famous people because I think it helps us to better understand our own charts and our own lives. So welcome. If this sparks interest for you, please subscribe, like, hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. After all, 2025, the year of the wood snake, is coming, and I have so much to cover with you in this transformative time that we are walking into. Just so you know a little bit about me, my name is Lydia Griffith, and I have been a Bazi Chinese astrologer at the master level for over 20 years and a Feng Shui consultant for that long as well. I also am a grief ceremonialist, and I host women's yoga retreats out of my home in rural Virginia here in the United States. So, this has been such a time, and as I'm filming this and as this goes out, we're still well in the month of October, all the way till November 7th, straight through the election here in the United States. So a lot can change and happen because we're surviving this pivotal moment in human history here on this earth. The month of October has been one of the most conflicted months of the whole year. It feels in a lot of ways like it's all coming to a giant head on the heels of back-to-back hurricanes, on the heels of invasions and escalating wars, and wars that are beleaguered and continuing to wage on. In this month of October, where the dog is directly confronting the annual animal of the dragon, conflict both in our own lives as well as in the world is what we are wrestling with. It's kind of like a raw and savage reckoning for some of us. So it's like it begs the question that once October 2024 is over, where do we go from here? Justice is a big signature of the dog, standing up for the underdog, people coming out to say truth. And we're going to see a lot of that as we head into the year of the snake. People saying, I'm not going to take this anymore. Rising up. And the month of October, ending on November, ending right around the election, brings in the month of Yin Wood Pig. It's a completely different energy. I mean, it's literally like somebody just changed the channel. Because the pig is like almost the counterpart, if you will, to the dog that is so hardworking, so driven to work for the benefit of others, to show up, to be loyal, to be true, to wage, to war, to fight for the name of justice. That the next month is a respite and an opportunity to just relax and say, hey, I did all that. I protested, I rose up, I voted, I did all the things. Now we rest. The pig is easygoing, super friendly, and the mood is celebratory. And there's a shadow side to celebration, right? Celebrations that are dark or not with friends. And that bodes well for some, but again, not for all. And as the tension eases from all this focus on the election, maybe there's a relief. Maybe we're out shopping, doing some retail therapy. Or maybe it reveals an indulgence in hot temper reactions. The pig can be feisty, can be hot-tempered. Maybe you're pissed you didn't get your way. Maybe you're pissed that you didn't see your candidate win. Maybe you're pissed because your candidate not only didn't win, but now is like basically telling you to fill the streets and riot. I don't know. Anything and everything seems like it's on the table these days, doesn't it? And then there's two sides to every coin. And this is a flip in the air we may not be able to call. So together, the dragon and the pig get lost in the illusion and run off into the rainbows, or get lost in alternate forms of reality, thinking one news story is telling them this is your reality, and you get lost in that illusion. And we've already seen this election cycle, what happens when false information is made public and how that can cause extreme damage to the world around us. Truth. My God, what is the truth? When we look at big stories in the news, we have to really ask ourselves, is this truth? Or is this just something that is designed to make me think a certain way, act a certain way, think the world is operating a certain way, when it may actually not be? And there's a rebellion, all in the name of what they think is best for the world, even if it's idealistic or romantic, or hey, join the party, friends. Next level 5D, Age of Aquarius. We're in full on next year Age of Aquarius for the rest of many of our lives, and with a snake in the period 9 fire period of Feng Shui. All this heat, all this fire, transformation, awakening, ascension. In the polarity of this human existence, there is the splitting that has happened. And in the splitting, there is the dark and the light. And who is to say, who is to make that judgment as to who is in the dark and who is in the light? Who is working towards ascension, higher conscious living, and who is trying to cling to old ways that are disintegrating and need to, because they no longer serve us in the 5D world of the new world, of the new human? Are you awakening, or are you clinging to being asleep? What does it mean to awaken? What does it mean to ascend? What does it mean to live in the 5D? These are great questions to ask. And I encourage you to go explore this. In a minute, we're going to break down the flying stars for your home for this coming month of November, so that you can align with your energies. And that is the beauty of understanding Feng Shui. It is the beauty of understanding your astrology, whether you prescribe to this Eastern astrology, the 4 pillars, Bazi, or to Western astrology. I personally dabble in both, though I understand inherently in my very blood Bazi astrology way better than the Western. So there's all this. And I've got the blog on the Kharma Khameleon website for you to check out. This is such a moment. If you have not had your Bazi Astrology chart read by me, if you get the written chart, you'll get a free update personal to you about your 2025 with month-by-month predictions. It is so worth it. Plus, you get 30 minutes of a Q&A sit down with me. How happy can that be? So I'll put links below for you to check that out. So there's this flavor of almost like a split from reality next month. It almost feels like we can't believe it got this good. We can't believe it got this bad, depending on which side you're sitting on, right? And I think after we voted, it is important for all of us worldwide to take a mighty step back in November and to turn our focus not on the chaos of the world, but on our own sovereign selves. This month is an offering, a prasad of self-care, self-love, and self-awareness. Living in higher conscious self means that you are no longer identifying with lower vibration emotions, fear, doubt, rage, injustice, consumerism, focus on wealth, accumulation of money, stuff, everything. It is the embracing more than anything else of your spiritual landscape and how you are actively engaging on a personal level with your spiritual life. This does not have anything to do with a dogma or worshiping a god. This is about something far bigger than that. Okay. And who can think what could be bigger than God, right? Or Allah or Buddha. But the idea of just focusing on care and keeping of yourself. Moving into 2025 with greater awareness of how you are kind, how you are loving, how you are compassionate, how you are serving humanity. But you've got to come back to you. How are you caring for yourself? How do you make yourself nourished and strong in spirit? So, on the blog, I've got 10 top self-care practices because I'm saying life's been hard. Life's been crazy. November, here it is. A time of Thanksgiving. Let's drop into self-care. Let's drop into how we are nourishing our individual selves. Okay. You ready? Here we go. The flying stars for November. All the stars are coming home. They're all landing in their own innate place, which means the good stars will be hopefully activated and the negative stars will also be activated. So it's a little tricky. So let's dive in. And that being said, if you are interested in a Feng Shui consultation with me, I charge by square footage of your home, and you get up to 2 Bazi Astrology readings with your home consultation, which is super fun. They get all of that. We're going to start in the southeast, where the dragon has been beleaguered throughout October with the dog. So this really was the northwest and the southeast in complete conflict. And you remember that in the center, we also had a lot of conflict. So I was saying that in October, if your pathway in your home or office or business from the southeast through the center to the northwest is open, that is a full-on battle, war waged with so much of that combative energy let loose. So the southeast is where the dragon has been sitting holding reign. You don't want to face southeast. You don't want to drive towards the southeast or travel towards the southeast. It's said to be confronting the dragon. It's very disrespectful. So this is where the Grand Duke is, one of the 3 afflictions for 2024. For November, the 4-star is coming in, and this is a wood star in a woody direction. The wood star is kind of a caution to relationships. And the 2-star, which is there all year, is an earth star, and it's really worn out. And the 2-star is kind of going through its transformation in period 9 from being a sickness star, super negative, to being a more positive star, but it's going to take a journey to get there. So for the month of November, the best colors in the southeast are to still focus on metal, to weaken the 2-star, but to also add in blue. Because the blue kind of is that mitigating influence. Metal and water will help drain the 2-star, and the water, especially that color blue, not actual water, but the color blue will help the 4-star. And this could be just bringing in like a blue blanket or blue pillows. It can be like little subtle things that we do. Then we're going to come around, bounce over across the Bagua to the northwest, where the 4-star is for 2024. Here we have a very beleaguered wood star in the metal of the northwest. And this is another of the 3 afflictions because it's sitting opposite the dragon. So this is where we have the Shui Po. And it's, all of these, the 3 afflictions are areas not to renovate, not to make loud noise, not to dig deep in the ground, not a place to be banging drums or playing loud music. The best colors, since the 6-star is coming in for November, which is bringing this element of success and wealth, is to bring in, again, to reinforce metal with the watercolor blue. And again, we're trying to get this mitigation between the conflict of metal and wood with the star coming in that's metal, right? So we want to add these colors and these elements to help ease the conflict so that you can get some measure of benefit out of this situation. So one of the cures I was saying for this direction of the northwest is a Chinese coin with the 4 characters facing up with a rose quartz crystal on top. And another one is 4 stalks of lucky bamboo in a blue vase. But I would make sure for November to consider 6 gold ingots on a blue round plate, just to see if you can nudge some money out of that situation. Now we're going to come to the center, where the 5-star is coming in. And the 5-star is at home in the earth. It's an earthy star. And the 3-star is so nasty, so about arguments and disharmony and people being unkind, divorce, breakups, just ugly, ugly. So with the 5-star coming in, this just feels very combative. And blue continues to be the best color here because it drains the 3-star. Or I'm sorry, it nourishes the blue. The blue will nourish the 3-star, but it helps to drain the 5-star. It's a tricky situation here. Metal, a round metal bowl or a smoky quartz to absorb negativity, highly recommended in the center of your home. Then we come around to the 8-star, and the 8-star is sitting in the north. But for November, the 1-star is coming in. This is a great direction. Now, the 8-star is super weak here because it's got, the water is so draining for it. But the 1-star, being at home here, is able to motivate future wealth, future successes. So for November, I would put a blue crystal to activate that 1-star. And the annual cure is 8 silk red flowers in a red vase. And I would continue. You have to remember the onion of all of this, not to be confused. Your home has its own feng shui, which needs to be honored. Then we have the annual feng shui, where we add those acupuncture points of color or material or images or specific cures to either motivate the annual star or depress it. Then we have the monthly star, which again, we're making these subtle shifts and changes, and it might modify or change what you've got going on in a room, but we always honor the innate design, if that makes sense. So it's not like you're going in every month and redoing every room in your house. You're just adding these little subtle changes with intention, right? You don't just throw something down and walk out of the room. Well, I took care of that. No, you place the crystal, tell it what its purpose is. Everything is energy. All right, so then we come around to the 6-star in the northeast. This is a tremendous area with the 8-star coming in. This is the second month that the Northeast has been so strong for prosperity and good fortune. So now we want to look at black crystals like obsidian, or to put a citrine. For the month of November, citrine is an orange crystal. It's great for financial success. So the Northeast is a great spot. And the colors here are very zen, like black, white, and gray with a little bit of that earth of tan and brown, of really deep wheat-colored yellow, right? And then we come around to the 1-star in the east, which is our future wealth star. The 3-star comes in and brings a caution to relationships like family drama or slander. And again, the color blue is the best color to use in this situation. So the blue decor nourishes the 3-star. So I would bring in something different. As far as a cure specific for the 3-star is to bring in a happy Hodi. The happy Hodi kind of is like a blessing to your relationships. Then we come around the south, one of the worst directions of 2024. And here we have The seven is metal in the south, which is fire. And November 2024, the 9 star comes in, which is the fire star. It is at its peak of power. This feels explosive. So, like, you can think of the southern parts of your country being explosive. You think of the southern part of the United States in reaction to the election becoming warlike, explosive, gunfire, bombs, grenades, whatever. It is violent, and it is really a caution to check the doors and security, to not have any sharp weapons, guns, knives, things like that, even things like a hatchet or a saw that is stored in the South. And since the 3 killings, the last of the 3 afflictions is in the South, have a brass dragon-headed turtle with a plant growing in clean, clear water as one of your cures. And if nothing else, a Chinese coin in a black dish filled with rice that has a bloodstone sitting on top of that Chinese coin to protect your finances. There are many cures that you want to have in place as far as colors that you want to avoid and colors you want to use. Check the blog for all the details. It's a lot of information and way more than I could go into in one video. So finally, the last one that we're going to come in, or the last 2, sorry, we have the 9 star in the Southwest with the 2 star. And this feels like a health crisis. So you really want to watch your health in this area, specific to circulation, surgery, heartache, heartbreak, heart surgery, mental health issues, depression, anxiety, rage, being consumed by rage and hate. So if this happens to be a bedroom, an office, a main entrance, be very mindful of everything related to the heart, to the circulation, to your mental health. I would definitely use a health gourd to absorb the negativity, to protect your health. If this is your bedroom, and if it's an office, a dragon-headed turtle, never facing you, but facing away from you. It's protecting you. Now, the last one is the 5 star in the West. It's a really challenged area. We don't want to have any banging or construction. Best cure, 6-rod metal wind chime to break up the negative energy. And for November, the 7 star comes in, and this again feels violent. It feels like confrontation that turns violent, injurious, defaming, bankruptcy, hospitalizations, or worse. I would, when you look at the worst directions, the southeast, the south, and the west, you don't want a bedroom here. Don't want a main door here. And if you can avoid using those rooms and just vacate them and keep them dark, then you don't have to worry about them. But if you've got a garage here, if you've got a main entrance, if this is a big active part of your house, use great caution. The best thing is darkness and stillness, because then the chi becomes stagnant and it's no longer a threat. So the areas, the directions of the northeast, north, and to a certain extent, the northwest, east, and southwest, if you work with the cures, if you work with the colors, you can make these directions work for you by adding human interaction and being actively in those rooms, using light if light is appropriate. I literally have window curtains or shades that I will bring down and completely darken a room if the energy is really bad. I will close off certain rooms using the doorways. You can also manipulate rooms by hanging large wall banners to break up the flow, or Chinese screens. Work with the energy. If you have questions, if you have comments, I'd love to hear from you, love to help you out, love to give you a consultation for your home. What a great time to do that, right ahead of the new year. So anyway, I hope that this has been helpful and inspiring in some way. And I will be putting out later this week the best and most challenging days for November, so you can plan your month ahead. And until next time, friends, thank you so much. Please be well.